Now we have seen that the main aim of the pipelining is to get one instruction every clock. But sometimes what happens is we will not be able to get one instruction every clock. There are various reasons for this, and all the reasons, they have been classified into three types. They are also called as hazards. Okay, so something called as hazards or dependencies. Hazards or dependencies, various names. These two names are generally most popular, and anyway from the question you will understand what they are talking about. Hazards and dependencies are the most frequently used names. And why is it called a hazard? Because it is a problem. Okay, so why is it called dependency? Because it arises mainly because of the dependencies. So I'll explain you. Okay, let me take them. So one reason why we get these hazards are because of structural hazards, and the other one is control hazard, and the other one is data hazards or data dependencies. So what is the main problem is, I'll just take one example and explain you how we are going to, what is that we are going to face here, and then we can take one by one and examine. Assume that we are having 4 phases. One instruction is going to be executed like this: instruction fetch, instruction decode, let's say operand fetch, execute, and maybe write back. Okay, 5 stages. Let us assume that we have these 5 stages which are in the instruction cycle. Then what happens is, if everything goes on well, we are supposed to start the next instruction exactly here, and we are supposed to finish it exactly here, right? So one clock cycle, which means if this instruction is going to be completed in this clock, the next instruction is supposed to be completed in the next clock, right? So that is what the main aim of pipelining is. But because of some problems, this will not happen always. So one problem is, you can think of the instructions which are branch instructions. So if this instruction address is 100, and if this instruction itself is a branch instruction, then the next instruction need not be 101. Let us say this instruction is a branch instruction and it is saying branch to instruction number 200. Then what happens is, after this 100, instead of 101, we should execute 200. But then we'll know that the next instruction is 200 only after the completion of the instruction. There are chances that you might even get to know about the target address here. Anyway, either you get the target address here or here. Whatever instruction you have fetched and executed in all these cycles, they all have to be stopped, right? And the next instruction has to be executed, started again from here, which means the next instruction is not going to come out of the instruction pipeline. It will take even more things, right? So all these things we have to stop, and these are called as stalls or stall cycles. Okay, so we are going to have stalls or stall cycles, or some people even call it stones. Stones means useless things. So these are completely a waste of time, isn't it? So because of such instructions, what happens is, on average, if you see, instead of getting an instruction every 1 clock, we'll be getting on average, let's say 1.2 or 1.5 or something like this, which means the number of clocks per instruction on average is going to increase because of such instructions like control instructions. And this particular example which I have shown you falls under the category of control dependency. Now what we shall see is, we shall take each category one by one, and we'll examine what it is, and later we shall see how to overcome this. What are the various possible solutions we could, what are the various things we can do in order to fix this. Okay, so we shall take one by one. Next we shall see about structural hazard.
Hi, if you are planning to do masters, then doing masters abroad is better than doing masters in India. I'll give you all the reasons. So first reason is, out of 1 lakh students who take GATE every year, there are only 500 seats in old IITs. So all the IITs put together have an acceptance rate of 0.5%, and IITs, universities better than IITs, they have very good acceptance rate like 30%, 40%, but all the IITs put together have an acceptance rate of 0.5%. And if you are working hard to get into IIT Bombay's ranking is 177 and IIT Roorkee's ranking is 400. If you are happy to get into IIT Roorkee, then getting into universities better than IIT Roorkee is easier compared to getting into IIT Roorkee. And looking at the salaries for computer science, for software jobs, if you have done your masters in computer science in US, the salaries are ranging from 80 lakhs per year to 1.2 crore per year. So even if you take an average of 1 crore per year, your savings will be much higher than the salaries in India. After taxes and your cost of living, you can easily save 40 to 50 lakhs per year. And in India, the maximum jobs that you get is around 30 lakhs. So your savings will be much greater than the salaries in India. And these are all the services that we provide. University shortlisting. So depending on your profile, we will shortlist what are the universities that you have to apply, and statement of purpose building, and then LOR guidance, and GRE and English test assistance, and education loan assistance. So you don't have to have any collateral, which means without any security, now you can get education loan. Getting education loan is very simple these days, and whatever the amount of fee that you have a range of universities. You can apply for 10 lakh universities, 20 lakh universities, or 50 lakh universities. But whatever it is, you are going to get complete education loan, and you can pay off your education loan in 1 year after you get a job. And then we do visa assistance, mock visa interviews, and then connecting with the university alumni. So now you might ask why we should join Game of Visas. So the answer is we have 90% success rate, 99% success rate. And these are all the destinations that we guide the students to. So we guide students to any country that you want to go. So now it is not just USA. We guide to UK, Germany, Australia, Canada. So we guide students to all the countries. We work with all the destinations. And if you are interested in going abroad, you have to just drop us a message on this WhatsApp number 9494 555 454. Okay, thank you.